beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content, and I am here to discuss the return of Top Boy. Yes, Top Boy is back in it. Okay, I'm excited. I've been following this show for a little minute, okay, for several years. So I'm excited to be able to review it. So please, join me in this journey for the next 6 episodes while I discuss this show. Okay, I love it. So I'm gonna enjoy recapping it with you guys. Okay, so before I get into the details, please make sure you're liking this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Okay, because I will be bringing you quick and efficient and a ton of Top Boy content going forward. And yes, I review other shows as well, so please stay tuned and enter the trap. Okay, thank you. Now we have business handled. We can get into the details of Top Boy, okay? Because it's back. So of course we got to get into Sully and Duchesne and all the drama we have going on with the organization, okay? Y'all, just start off. Let me just tell you, this episode was so fire to me, okay? Like, y'all didn't have to do your girl like this. Like, I loved it. Tens across the board. I have no complaints. I'm hanging on by a thread because I cannot wait to tune in until episode 2. So I just wanted to get this review out so y'all can get my natural reaction because I don't want to know anything that happens in the next episode. But y'all, I cannot wait. As soon as I'm done recording, I'm going to watch it, okay? I'm going to watch it. So, you guys, it saddens me to just really comprehend that Jamie is really dead. Now, there were some theories out there stating, he may not be dead. It may be, some type of reimagination or, some type of dream sequence, but Jamie is really gone, you guys. And, we kind of flash back and kind of open up to the moment that he hears the knock at the door. And Sully and his blicky was on the other end. And, we hear the gunshots. We hear, Steph in the background, yelling, Jamie, if you guys, need a recap of who Jamie is, he's this young fella in the middle. Okay. Jamie, he was a good man. Okay. He was in the game. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. But I really wanted Jamie to stick around because I really enjoyed him as a character. Okay. But Sully, not so much. He didn't enjoy him. Not at all. Right. So, we see Sully, he leaves, he exits his building and he's going to the car. So that really pretty much lets us know that it's a done deal. Jamie, yes, indeed, is gone, right? So frustrating, right? To me, at least, okay? Because don't get me wrong, I am a fan of Jamie and Sully, but it's the game. It started with, Sully and Duchesne, so I'm pretty sure the way the writing is going to set up is going to end with those two in their quest and their fight to, being Top Boy, okay? So we see Duchesne and Shelly, they're still holding on strong, okay? They're at a little fancy dinner, and she's asking for Duchesne to pretty much go in with her in terms of another salon. She already has one nail salon, and she would like a second one, and she wants to partner up, so he agrees. And as he's having dinner with her, he gets a text from Jacques, okay? And she says, Jamie's been done. So, of course, his mood is completely changed, right? So he goes and dismisses himself to the bathroom. But Shelly does not have a warning. Like, he's obviously concerned. So he goes in the bathroom. He's texting Jacques, where's Sully? And Sully, how they have that phrase, speak of the devil. Sully appears in the bathroom, okay? And Duchesne's like, yo, dude, what the F? What the F is going on? And Sully was like, hey, it's done. Okay, what do you want me to do? So Duchesne is asking him, so is it my turn? Am I next? Am I next? Let me know. I'm like, Sully, is he next? Because I'm a little concerned about this situation here. So, he says, well, if you don't step back and fall in line. Yes, you may be next. And I'm like, I hope this isn't foreshadowing. Child, if this is foreshadowing, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Okay. So, he said, you know what, Duchesne, you want to retire? Okay, retire. You fall back. I'm going to be top boy. And that is that. This is the situation. So Duchesne was like, okay, well, make sure you have my money as I've been delivering your money. So as of now, Sully is now top boy. Okay. How do you guys feel about this? I feel like there's going to be a lot of debate going on between Sully versus Duchesne, especially with Sully just now, 30 minutes from murdering Jamie. Okay. But I'm feeling a way, y'all. I'm feeling a way. All right. Excuse me for a sec. So, yes, he's offering a fair share, a fair cut. So, financially, Sully is trying to be fair. So, it looks like it's possibly a 50-50 split. So, Duchesne's still going to get his money. He's just not going to be calling the shots at this point, right? So now we're seeing a little montage of business on the street, on the road, as we say, over there. And business is running smoothly. Drops are being made, drugs are being sold. Okay. And Jock, she's over there, doing what she do. She facilitating and, doing, her thing as I would call her, management or supervisor. I would call her more of a management situation, right? So she gets a text from Sully, to I believe it was a call. And he wants her to immediately come to the drop because we have a new shipment coming in. And I'm like, okay, we got the new shipment coming in. And Sully, he's over there. He's still reviewing all what's going on because, they had a main little, I'm not exactly what they call it, but it's kind of like a little flea market where they kind of set up shop at. So he's over there. He has a new number 2 and, they're over the, overseeing the situation. All right. And now Jock, before she leaves, she, notices this, drug addict coming over with her stroller. Right. And yeah, it's a mess because she has a baby. All right. And Jock is like, you haven't watched your baby in a while. Like, what's going on? So she seems very concerned. Why? Because she's feeling that instinct. I'm giving her, that feminine instinct because we see her coddling her nephew. And, Lauren had her baby. Jock is just really coming in that role as the nephew. So it's really exciting, right? But Lauren seems very much withdrawn, like very much like just standoffish a little bit. So I was figuring, hey, maybe she's dealing with a little postpartum or just dealing with the stresses of killing her baby's father. And she's pretty much been through a lot, honestly, from running her mouth, I believe, in season 3, having to go away, Jock trying to save her life, getting involved with that crazy man and his family, killing him, now having to come back, save her family, now having this baby. She's probably thinking, hey, how am I going to explain this to my son later on? Like, she's going through a lot. And they did add in a note because apparently she, pretty much did not want to breastfeed the baby at that particular day. It seemed a little off, but not really, because a lot of women, when you start breastfeeding, it hurts. Okay. It really very much hurts. So, some women, they wean in and out of that. So I really wasn't suspicious at this point, but it's kind of a little, inkling of what may be going on with her. Right. So we see Drizz's family. Okay. If y'all don't remember Drizz, he's this fella right here in the middle. All right. And, if you recall, Sully had to put him down because he pretty much chose the other side. Okay. And I really like Drizz as a character. So I was a little sad. But just take note that Sully killed this man. All right. So now we see his family, his daughter Erin, and the mother of his daughter Mandy. Okay. So Mandy, recall, she was in prison in the previous season. Now, she seems reformed, getting her life together, just really, just on the right path. So her and Erin there at breakfast, and they just having small talk, and she's talking about how she needs glasses, and she puts on Erin puts on Drizz's glasses. And, of course, Mandy, she got a little sentimental because she's like, hey, you look just like your dad. So it was a little sad moment. And, she's like, you're just a good kid and you look just like him. So the fact that she says she's just a good kid, and I believe she is, I feel like possibly that may change. We're going to see. We're going to see. Not necessarily that may change, but I feel like she's going to find herself in some predicaments based on a couple theories I have, right? So we see Sully. He's actually taking his daughter to school. They're walking and just talking about, just random things like tigers living in trees. Okay, just the funny small talk we have with our kids, right? And I really love this moment because you already know, Sully and his daughters had a strained relationship. Okay, so it seems as though things are looking up. All right. But as we see, they enter the schoolyard and we see Steph. He's looking up and he locks eyes with Sully as he's dropping off his daughter. And he's, of course, looking at his brother's killer right in the eyes, okay? And he's a little taken aback, okay? And I'm not sure if this is the first time he's seen him, but nonetheless, it still hurts, okay? So he turns around and pretty much looks like he's not going to school. And I don't know. Sully was looking at, him just as much, looking at him, as well. And I don't know. Sully is he's very much a savage and maybe is underestimating Steph, but Steph is of age to be very much comprehending the fact that, hey, you killed my brother and I can possibly avenge his death. Okay. Or tell somebody, I'm saying, that you killed him. Like, I feel like, I don't know, Sully is being a little nonchalant about this situation with Jamie. Just me. Just my opinion, but we are going to see, right? So Steph, he goes home. So of course, Jamie is no longer with us, so he cannot take care of him. So now Steph has new accommodations. He looked like he's in this, like, I don't want to call it a group home per se, because it's not your typical group home. Maybe I'm referring to American group homes. But he has, a situation where he's with other people, but he has his own room, has his own bathroom. So it's a pretty nice setup, considering. So, he goes and looks at his picture with his brothers and he has Jamie's chain and, he's crying. He's a little sad. So it's really going to stick with him, you guys. I really feel it's going to really continue to bother him. Of course, rightfully so, right? So, we see Sully and Jock, they go to the pickup spot because we have drugs that we need to get because we got to sell these things, right? And now, of course, this is the first drop up since Sully became Top Boy. So we go to this little, industrial situation and we see this box truck kind of, parked a little oddly. And Jock sees nobody driving. Like, she's looking at Sully in the other car, like, what's going on? So they approach the truck and there's nothing in there. But they see, like, in these panels, they kind of open it up and they find a couple little boxes or packages, if you will, and find 2 dead heads. 2 dead heads. So Sully is like, yo, what the F is going on here? Okay. I don't have no drugs, but I got these heads. And, Jock is not really recognizing these people, but apparently they're the Moroccan connects, that we were dealing with, previously. So there was a phone in one of these dead heads, okay? And it had a number stored and it said, call me. So, of course, Sully goes into the car and he calls this person and we are introduced to a man that's at a bar, okay? And he's like, I heard you've taken over, Sully. I have a little proposition for you. And of course, Sully, he's already impatient. He doesn't have time for games. I already thought my drugs was going to be here. Now I have a whole new situation that I have to deal with. Like, all right, Sully, you want to be Top Boy? This is the things you're going to have to deal with, okay? So this man says, hey, my nephew is in London. His name is Johnny. He will be in touch with you in the future, and he's going to discuss, information regarding the date and time of your pickup, okay? And so, of course, Sully's like, what the F is going on? And of course, Jacques is like, hey, like, should we loop in Duchesne? Like, what's going on? And of course, Sully just being Sully, he's like, no, why do we need to handle, have Deshane be involved? We're going to keep this in-house and deal with it. And I feel like this decision is going to bite him in the ass. Because no, technically Deshane, he's not doing the day-to-day, but he's equally invested financially in the situation. But we're going to see how Sully handles this, right? So Shelly is meeting Deshane at this little, possible nail shop that she wants to purchase, right? And he's like, okay, how much? And she had the nerve to say $2.1 million. And of course, I'm looking like, what? And Deshane is looking like, what? And she was like, well, hold up. It's a person that wants to sell, but she actually has 9 shops. It would be, a chain. And I don't know what it is, you guys, but something feels off. Like this, I don't want to say it's completely out of character for Shelly, but I need to figure out what's going on. Like, you have your one shop, I feel like that was like a lifelong dream. And then, okay, cool. You want to expand to a number 2 shop. Okay, great. But now you're trying to have a whole franchise. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like she's kind of rushing it a little bit, and I know they love each other and Deshane is very much committed. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're asking for too much. Like, girl, pump your brakes. 2.1 million. But she also, she sweetens the pot, right? She was like, hey, maybe, you can clean some money in these shops. This could be beneficial for the both of us. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, but it's still rubbing me a weird way. So we're going to just have to stay tuned on what is this deal. Okay. Am I looking too far into it or what? Okay. Y'all let me know. Am I reaching? Because I need to understand like what's going on. Why is she so urgent with, expanding? Like, I don't know. I really don't understand. Like, she understands he sells drugs. Okay, cool. Like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe that's just too much exposure. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot. So, anywho, Sully, he takes his behind over there to his bank, which is Life, okay? And, she's like, well, how you doing? So they have a cute little pleasantries, okay? Pleasantries, sorry. And he was like, well, I want to make a withdrawal. So she's taken aback. She's like, you normally don't make withdrawals. You normally make deposits. He was like, okay, cool. And I need 2.1 million. So she's giving him a lot of pushback and she's looking very much suspicious to me at this point. Okay. But she tries to explain like, hey, that's a lot of money. Like, when do you need it by? And he explains by the end of the week. And so she's like, yeah, that may be an issue. And he, of course, is not understanding why. And so she says, hey, you invested 15.2 million in the summer house, redevelopment fund. And he was like, no, 16 million. She was like, well, I told you it costs money to move money. And he said, well, it cost me $800,000 to move my money. And I asked the same thing. It cost him $800,000 to move his money. What are we talking about here? Like, are you referring to your fee or what? Okay, is your fee, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you read the terms and conditions, Deshane, in regards to this, but we need to figure it out because it's a lot, okay? So he pretty much told her, like, I don't care what you have to do, but I'm going to come back tomorrow and you better have a better update for me, okay? So she's looking a little scared. So I don't know if you guys watched The Wire, but it's giving me very much a little Stringer Bell situation where, somebody is taking advantage of a naive drug dealer and don't really understand, the possible repercussions because he low key, threatened her just a little bit. So we're going to see when he comes back if she has some good news for him because I'm a little worried. All right. So next thing we see immigration. They are running deep. It's several of them, okay, and they are at Summer House. So we, of course, investigating why are they here? Why are they here? So they apparently here for Kyrian. Okay, Kyrian is one of the roadmen. He's very cool with Jock, right? So they're knocking on his door and his mom, Diane, is answering. And, they're explaining, hey, we're here for immigration. And the Home Secretary signed over an order for immediate removal of Kieran. So of course, the mom calls Karen and they're pretty much perplexed, like what's going on? And they're saying, that he needs to go. And so, she's explaining, no, I've written multiple letters to you guys' office. Like I explained, he was a baby when we came over, and passports was not required when he was brought over here. So this is null and void. Like, what are you guys talking about? So they're not trying to hear it. And of course, by this time, the neighbors are rallying, like trying to figure out what's going on, and specifically Mandy, which is Drizz's baby mother, and she's kind of appalled, like leave these people alone, like they're good people, like what are you talking about? So it's becoming a scene, you guys. And so Jock, she's also kind of reviewing the situation from afar, so she kind of comes closer to see what's going on as well. So we shoot back to Sully, okay? He visits a guy named Bill. Bill is a comrade from jail, okay? And apparently Bill owes him a favor. So I was like, oh, Sully, what you do for Bill? Like, I'm a little nosy. Sully a little cray-cray. So I really want to know what type of work he put in for Bill. And I feel like we're going to find out, right? So, apparently, he needs help because Bill knows people, all right? So Sully was stating, hey, somebody is messing with my parcels, aka my drugs. Someone called me. He sounds a little Irish. He mentioned the name Johnny. So Bill was like, Johnny who? Johnny McKee? And Sully was like, he didn't give me no last names, okay? Not at all, okay? He didn't give me no last name, no social security number, nothing, all right? So he was like, oh yeah, I know these guys. They're big people, okay? They're big people in the game, and they're dangerous, okay? I went to school with Johnny, and yeah, these are some dangerous people, all right? They have a little boss, he's in Boston. His name is Taj or what have you. And Sully was like, I need to speak to him. I need to see him as soon as possible. And Bill was like, hold up now. Wait, just a minute, sir. Just one moment. Yeah, I don't know if that's really going to work out. But Sully was like, hey, you owe me a favor. You owe me a favor. I did something for you, so I need you to return. And so, Bill, is reluctantly agreeing to help Sully. And he asked Sully for his number. He said, hey, once I get some information, I'm going to get back with you, all right? And mind you, Bill's mom, she works at the bar. I think it's Bill's like cover or what have you. So I don't know. I feel like we may see a little savagery out of Bill's mom. We're going to see about that, okay? So back at Summer House, the immigration, they force open the door. They detain Kieran and put him in a little paddy wagon, if you will, okay? So Mandy coordinates the residents to pretty much surround the vehicle so they won't be able to leave. And she's like, it's a peaceful protest. Just sit down. Hey, Jock, please help. Like, tell these people to sit behind so they will not be able to reverse. So Jock, she kind of sees Kieran through the little window, and she was like, I'm here, bruv. Like, I'm here. And I'm like, I love the little drug dealer camaraderie. It's like real. It's real sentimental, okay? Really, very much. So Duchesne, he kind of comes up and he's like, what's going on? So Jock, fills him in. And he was like, why are you doing this? Like, let them take him. Like, you're a whole drug dealer out here. Pretty much, just letting, room for reference here. Duchesne is pretty much telling her, like, girl, you cannot put yourself on Front Street and let it be known you out here making noise. You are a criminal. Like, you should be as discreet as possible. And I understood that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know, Jock. You can't be wrapped up in all of this. We over here moving and, selling the drugs. But she's loyal to her friend. So that's what she decides to do. And Duchesne pretty much said, F you and Kieran. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Duchesne, this is the type of time we on, okay? So he's very much seeming a lot more cutthroat than, I believe that Jock would handle, but it's a different situation. Jock is very much loyal to her people. So Bill, he calls Sully with the details of the meetup, right? And of course, he's very hesitant still. And we also cut to Lauren. She's at home and she's texting a guy, a person, R, okay? And the texts are very vague, but it looks like she's copying some drugs. Okay. And at this point, I'm a little alarmed. I'm feeling very much emotional in my feelings at this point, right? So back at the protest, Erin, Mandy's daughter slash Drizz's daughter, comes home and she's like, Mom, it's a great thing that you're doing here. It's all over social media. And we also see Steph, he kind of comes through as well. And they make it known that, Erin has a crush on Steph. So I was like, this is forming to be something very interesting because Sully killed Driz, okay? And Sully killed Jamie, which is Steph's brother. So I feel like they're gonna have a situation where it may be some teamwork going on in terms of, possibly getting some revenge on Sully. I'm pretty sure that Erin and Mandy don't know Sully killed Driz. But it's quite possible that they may find out. But yeah, I'm gonna be interested in this story between Steph and Erin. Like, it's gonna be a cute little situation, so I'm gonna like that, right? And so Sully, his number two, and he has a third guy there, and they're picking up Bill, right? And they're trying to get intel on Johnny's dudes, like, hey, Bill, like, what's going on, with him? Like, is he going to be strapped? Like, give me the details, right? So, of course, Bill, he's being very vague. He was like, well, I don't know about any people he's going to be around, but Johnny's definitely going to be strapped. Okay. And, I don't know, just Bill is rubbing me a little bit the wrong way, but it seems as though these guys are very dangerous. So rightfully so. Right. So they go into this barn, which is the meeting spot. Right. And so they go into the barn, and one of Sully's men is very much killed. Okay, he dies immediately. Immediately. And in walks Johnny and his goons, right? And Johnny, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. First impression, Johnny looks cray-cray. He look a little crazy. He looked like somebody you do not want to play with. Okay. So Sully, I know you're not going to listen to me, but I just want you to tread lightly when it comes to this Johnny guy, because he is not playing, okay? And so Sully's, ask him for the particulars, okay? What do you want? What is going to cost me? Because I know you're not having me in this little wild goose chase for nothing, okay? And so he said, hey, Sully, I took care of Lord, guys. He said, I took care of the Moroccans, okay? And, you have a good little situation here. I have drugs. You have people that, sells drugs, and there's people out there that uses drugs. Therefore, 2 + 2 is, is 4, okay? Yes, sir. I'm going to supply you, and I'm going to take 50%. And I was like, wow, that's very much steep. But I know a man that requires such a percentage is definitely is definitely not somebody that you want to cross, because they already know they're dangerous. Okay. And so Sully was like, I don't really know about this. And Johnny reassured him 50% of a whole lot of money is more than 100% of nothing. Okay. Matter of fact, would it be better? Would it be better if I drop your head off at Tasha's mom's house? And Tasha is his daughter. So of course, that definitely got Sully's attention. Was like, hold up. Yes, Sully, see, these type of people are very dangerous, okay? And they do research, okay? They're not going to be pressing someone this hard that they haven't done any research on, okay, Sully? So you better tread lightly. I'm just saying, all right? So back at Summer House, immigration pretty much ends up, getting a call, and they release Kieran. They want to make sure it's not a public safety matter, with the uproar. So they decide to release Kieran. And I hope they change the documents and information on the computer system, because at the end of the day, we don't need no problems at all. So I'm hoping that all is well and they don't try to come back and get him. Okay. So Shelly and Duchesne, they're at home and they're reviewing, these little layouts for the storefront, right? And like I said, it's still rubbing me the wrong way that she's planning so big, but I'm just going to just sit back for now, okay? So she's questioning Duchesne, hey, have you met with Life? He was like, yeah, I met with her. I'm going to go back tomorrow. She's like, well, do we have the money? Like, do we have it? I'm like, hold up, Shelly, pump your brakes. Like, what is going on, girl? Like, with the sense of urgency, like, I understand this is probably a dream, but I don't know, y'all. She's been very, I don't know. The character development is seeming off. Like you're going from 0 to 100. Like you were just a wholesome little girl that didn't want to ask for much. And where's her daughter? Are we going to see her? I'm pretty sure we are. But yes, y'all, I don't know. Something about this Shelly. Like, I don't feel like she's a snitch or anything, but something is just off. I don't know. I really hope not. I really hope not. Anywho, so Duchesne gets a text from Sully. We need to talk. And I'm pretty sure it's about this whole situation with Johnny and this money and these drugs. Okay. And I'm like, okay, Duchesne, it's time for you to put on your thinking cap. Okay. Because Sully is going to need some brain power, because if he will listen to Jock in that car when she asked to bring you in and include you on this situation, Sully did not choose to do that. And I feel like maybe if he would have included Duchesne, maybe Duchesne would have had, just more intel, or just, a recommendation or something. But Sully wants to be top boy, and we're going to see. We're going to see. We know you're savage, Sully, but in terms of just planning, I don't know. I don't know if it's all there to be in this particular position. We're just going to have to stay tuned. And then Jock, she goes home from a long day of protesting and drug dealing. And, the baby is awake and Lauren is on the couch, sleep, right? So she's sitting next to Lauren, she puts a little cover on her. So she's looking down and she sees like a little aluminum foil wrapped up. And so she smells it. And I'm sure, she put 2 and 2 together and realized it's, pretty much drugs or paraphernalia, So it looks like Lauren is on heroin. I'm guesstimating, because that's a drug that kind of makes you very sleepy and tired, and it makes sense. She's very withdrawn. She seems very depressed. She had a lot going on, and I'm not excusing this drug use, but I'm very nervous. Like, when it comes to specific characters and storylines, some are just near and dear in my heart, and it stays with me for a while. So I'm very nervous about how this storyline is going to turn out. It's one of my favorite storylines of the show. But I don't know. I can see Jock trying to really get out the game. Because you could see, her heartstrings are being very much pulled, and, righteousness and love and loyalty and respect. Yes, you can have some of those things when you sell drugs, but I feel like this thing with her sister and possible drug use. Well, it's not possible drug use. It is drug use, right? And I forgot to mention that R is actually someone, that Jock is familiar with. And when he delivered the drugs to Lauren, he told her, like, I don't feel comfortable serving you. Like, you're Jock's sister. Like, it's wrong. And she's like, well, it's just for a friend, just for a friend. So he even is feeling away. She's a, beautiful girl. She's a good girl for the most part. She ran her mouth a few years back, which kind of put her in some predicaments. But I don't know. I really don't want to see her strung out. I really want her to kick this. It doesn't seem like it's a full-blown thing, but from what I understand, if it is heroin, that's really a hard drug to get off of. So we're going to see, y'all. But this was a great episode. I see a lot of things brewing. Sully now has to enlist help from Duchesne. That's going to be an issue with some pushback. Steph is over here, probably going to be in a relationship with Drizz's daughter. That's going to be cool. And, just everything else in the mix. So episode 1 is fire. They really have me intrigued. I'm really about to watch episode 2, and hopefully, I'm going to have that review very shortly, by the end of the day. Before I go to sleep, y'all going to see the review for episode 2. I'm trying to keep these reviews out early. And I should have all 6 within the next few days, Lord willing, okay? And then I'll have a live show in a week to kind of discuss it, and a couple extra, extra things going on the channel regarding Top Boy, you guys. But thank you for tuning in. let me know your thoughts in regards to Top Boy. Please, I please, 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 I please, 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 I please, please, please beg. No spoilers, please. No spoilers in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Just keep it to each episode as we are, watching it together. Some has been watched probably already. It's been released for like 12 hours now. But yes, guys, please let me know your thoughts. Please like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will be back soon for episode 2. All right. Enjoy the rest of you guys' day.